Hello and welcome. My name is Marcus.
I know that.
13
What do you think this
Yoshi
is?
37 Statter, and I am a professional Pokemon player.
I'm so sorry.
We are here
We're not. Well,
for
it's
the
kind of misleading
team
that
builder
both
of the
here.
Multi-Battle League
We're in different
2017
places.
Season 2
We're in different
Team Dreamball,
places. So it's
and
kind of
I'm here
misleading
with
saying
my
we're
partner
here.
that I
We're in
will
different
now
places.
unmute. His name is Wolfie Glick. Mr. Glick, welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you so much for having me, Marcus. Ever since I was a little kid, it was a real dream of mine to get on your famous talk show. So it's just a real honor being here.
This is a very serious video, and we are going to discuss the means that we have acquired in order to be able to deal with Team NOT Scald. And we will be facing off against Team NOT Scalde for the finals of the MBL.
I think our motto should be.
Okay, honestly, I tried
justify
for
the
long enough,
means.
but I just can't do it. Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
so
You want me to do
here.
it?
We're here. We're playing some Pokemon. Wolf, take it away.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Am I still on mute?
You never were.
Okay,
on mute.
anyways.
I was just kidding.
Anyway, the ends justify the memes. This is Team Dreamball. This is, as Marcus said, MBL finals. This is actually a big deal for us because we were in this position last season. It would mean a lot to us if we could repeat. So we're definitely pretty nervous going in, especially the fact that we're going up against Team Not Scald.
Okay.
Sorry, NOT Scald. What?
No, we're fine. I think Not Scald is fine now. So okay. Can we all take a second just to appreciate the what's the noun for genius? The genius. Is it just the genius?
I think it is just the genius.
Okay, it's just the genius. Can we take a second and appreciate the genius of Team Not Scald, please?
Yes. Yeah.
I would be very happy about that. Thank you. Okay, second is over, but no, for real. The fashion
impressive.
in which they beat Team Jamie was just magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also went on to beat Team Cyberbass. So essentially, they are on the way to beating the entire top cut bracket of last season's MBL top cut. Yeah, oh boy.
And not only have they won, they've done it in a way that is rather unorthodox. So, they use stuff like red card toxic spikes, Drapion, and they use stealth rocks really well against Team Cyberbaz, and they EV'd for stuff like KOing Breloom after stealth rocks damage with poison jet from Drapion.
The Volcarona had to switch into stealth rocks and stuff like that.
Exactly. And Z Hyper Beam Suicune, Mental Herb Mamoswine, just really creative, wacky stuff. Super fast Rock Polish Cradilly, just stuff that you wouldn't expect at all. And with their prep being so impressive, it's for us, obviously, it's pretty worrisome going in.
So
go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say this also comes back to the very, very first week of MBL Season 2 where we did face against Team Not Scald. And they were able. I mean, we were coming into the league we thought we had a solid draft. Joey and MV, they had done well the previous season, but they weren't going into this as favorites, I would say. But of course, them being so good at singles, at some point they had to convert their skills over to doubles as well, which is what definitely happened this season. And so we just lost the first week. I mean, we did get a little bit unlucky. But they had clever stuff like fast Buzzwole that really caught us off guard, and we don't want to make the same mistakes again that we did in the very first week, and of course we also want to get revenge there.
Yeah, and it was something that's a fun fact is that it's kind of similar for us to the story of the first MBL where we played Team Cyberbaz week 1. We got a little unlucky and we narrowly lost 0-1. They only had one Pokemon left at the end. Then we played through the whole season, and we were the second seed going into the top cut. And Team Cyberbaz and us, we rematched against them in the finals, and we ended up winning. So again, this season we're the second seed going into top cut. We played Not Scald week 1, and we narrowly lost 0-1, and now we're up against them again in the final. So it's just it'll be interesting to see if the pattern repeats itself, or if these guys are able to take it all.
yeah, I mean that's just how it goes, and I think it's also a pretty good like opportunity for ourselves to like just prove ourselves in this top cut, because I mean we were lucky enough to skip one round of top cut, so we got directly into the top 4. There, yeah, very narrowly were able to beat Team V Disney, and now yeah we're here in the finals again, and of course for you guys, of course, and also for ourselves, we wanna just grab that second title here. So yeah, without any much further ado, let's try and start analyzing this matchup a little bit, since we talked a lot about like the, well, whatever, like the background info or whatnot. But yeah, we this time around there's some stuff that is a little bit different from when we played them the first week, since of course there was mid-season draft and
Free agency,
yeah, free agency. Anyway, they picked up Drapion. They picked up Comfy, and they picked up they picked up Mamoswine. And
they traded Mega Garchomp for Mamoswine. They traded Malamar for Drapion, and they got Kyurem. Who did they drop? Licky Licky for Kyurem.
Licky Licky. So okay, yeah, they had Comfy all along. Yeah.
Yes. Which is like a pretty big improvement in my opinion.
Yes.
So it's interesting. So even though like I think Mamoswine over Mega Garchomp makes a lot of sense because Mamoswine can hold an item and it allows it to be a lot more diverse. Kyurem's just like a much better Pokemon than Licky Licky in general. And also since we have Zygarde, like adding 2 ice types probably helps a bit, especially like Zygarde, Zapdos, that kind of stuff. And Drapion has done so well for them in the past weeks.
Yes.
But it actually changes the dynamic against us a bit, because I remember the first week when we were planning for them, we like wanted to lead Scrafty because Scrafty was so good against most of their team, but we were really scared of the Malamar giving it like too many boosts. Yep. So the dropping Malamar, I think, is like one of the it's pretty much the only positive thing that has happened for us in their trades. Like everything else has benefited them, but I think them dropping Malamar gives Scrafty a little bit more leeway.
Yep, and our change, of course, if you weren't familiar with that yet, is we picked up Electivire over Tangela, and while I think the Tangela wasn't really something that we could really bring, Electivire definitely gives us some options, even though we have a couple of Pokemon that just shut it down completely. Redirection is always nice, and unlike with Tangela, where we were kind of forced to use Eviolite as the item, Electivire also kind of like go like super offensively or hold a 50% berry, which on a redirector is always super cool.
Yeah, 100% agree. So when we were looking at this matchup, we pretty much figured we knew exactly which Pokemon they were going to bring, or like some of the Pokemon they were going to bring, right? We thought Suicune was almost certainly coming. Mamoswine we think is almost certainly coming. Buzzwole.
Yeah, we think like, is coming.
I personally think Arcanine is coming. I don't know how you feel about that one, Marcus, but
yeah, we're not super sure about the first two, but I personally don't think they want to bring Celesteela. Just because we have
Heatran,
we have Heatran and Zapdos Electivire, so Celesteela probably a little bit dead weight, which is of course a little bit unfortunate for them, because Celesteela is their S tier pick, right? So
yes,
it looks like it's certainly something they want to bring, but against us it just doesn't look like it's making too much sense. Then Raichu can really outspeed everything on our team, so I think that's pretty much guaranteed to come as well.
Great, yeah.
Fake Out is always good. And then, yeah, a sleeper pick from me that I think they could focus on is that Credilli, because with Storm Drain, it's actually one of the few Pokemon that can take on our Tapu Fini if it's next to the Electivire, because we can just like absorb attacks from, say, the Raichu, for example. And against anything else, we can basically like either dish out some damage or set up Calm Minds. So I think Credilli could potentially be important for the strategy. Now we were in contact with them a little bit, and from what Joey said, it looked like they have something crafted out, like some cool stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, they were actually like done with their team before we even like started going like super serious in team building. So yeah, I'm sure they have some cool tricks up their sleeves, and I think Credilli could maybe play a part in that.
Yeah, Credilli, like, it just kind of walls a lot of our Pokemon, doesn't it? Like, Electivire generally can't touch it. Zygarde obviously doesn't do much damage to it. Drifblim doesn't really do anything. Feeny doesn't do anything. Heatran can touch it, but if they bring Credilli, they're almost certainly bringing Earth Power as well. So, like, yeah, and it's so naturally bulky and can run Stockpile, and they can surf it with their Suicune, that it's just, like, it actually ends up being a really threatening Pokemon, even though it's not traditionally what I would think of as, like, as a huge threat, but...
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's pretty scary.
Yeah, if they build their entire team around it and then have like Comfy maybe like heal it up or whatever, and they can snag, I don't know, like an ancient power boost or something weird, then all of a sudden it's gonna be super tough to take down.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then one more thing, just prior to team building, we decided that Zygarde was not something we wanted to rely on. We did really focus focus on it in the first week. But now with Kyurem being a thing and also Mamoswine, they added 2 more ice types. And yeah, Zygarde already froze in the first week when they had 0 ice types. So yeah, what's gonna happen if they have 2 of those, right? So yeah, I think with the way that Zygarde or that we played Zygarde throughout the season, I think it's a pretty fair assumption on their end to expect it to play a major factor in this game as well. Since it hits Arcanine, Raichu, and the Drapion for super effective damage.
And Celesteela if it gets it off.
Yep, and we have already shown in the past that we are like willing to play the game where we just set up Zygarde and then sweep with it, right?
Yes.
But yeah,
quite often, actually.
Sorry?
We've done that quite a few times.
Yes, exactly.
It's the MVP at the moment, I believe, in most Pokemon KO'd.
Yes, and so I think that they have a pretty fair assumption that we are gonna bring Zygarde to this match, and even though it's like a tough decision, we decided that we do not want to bring Zygarde to this battle just because it's so like not obvious, because of course they have like tools to deal with it, but we really also want them to bring those Pokemon because when they prepare for Zygarde and then we don't bring it, then they have a couple of move slots that probably don't do much and maybe even have like a couple of Pokemon slots. And then our plan is to focus on that and set up a different Pokemon, which we will be talking about in a second, to do the sweeping part. And Zygarde is probably just like sitting on the bench, but it plays an important role in this, like, not the team review, but like this draft preview where I think they definitely put on like it has some sort of like mark on it where they really want to target it down.
Yeah. And the other thing about Zygarde is like it's not just because they expected that we're not bringing it, but if you look at their team, like just like the combination of Suicune and Buzzwole, for example, are 2 Pokemon that Zygarde pretty much regardless can't do anything about, with both of their like large defenses, both the fact that they carry ice moves, or they should be carrying an ice move, and then the fact that Zygarde isn't even that strong naturally. Like, even after Dragon Dances or Swaggers, it's not going to be doing... It's going to be like an 8 KO.
Realistically, if you wanted to do something with Zygarde here, we would need to bring it to like +3, which would be like a Swagger and a Dragon Dance. And even then, we wouldn't be like OHKOing.
It wouldn't even do a KO Suicune.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably like still a 3 KO.
Yeah, but like, for example, something we figured out, I think, for the first week was like Zapdos plus Zygarde is super solid against them, and that hasn't changed. Like,
yes.
But now with the addition of Mamoswine and Kyurem, like they got 2 more tools to deal with those Pokemon. Since beforehand, like Mega Garchomp, we could just Hidden Power Ice that, and then the Lickilickly, I mean, we could take it down with multiple.
We weren't too worried about the Lickilickly.
Yeah, if they didn't freeze it. So yeah, but now they actually have 2 Ice types, and the whole Zapdos Zygarde plan just doesn't work as well anymore. So like one last thing before I'm going to show you what we came up with. We figured out that maybe Zapdos Fini could be something to bring here. Because I was talking about this earlier, in the first week they surprised us a little bit with super speedy Buzzwole. So if you compare the speed stats of like Tapu Fini, Zapdos, and Buzzwole and all of their team essentially, because like also Mamoswine and Drapion, Kyurem, Suicune, Arcanine, like all of those Pokemon are just like a little bit shy of 100 base speed. So max speed Zapdos can actually outpace all of them. And if they want to go like, if they want to play the smart speed creep game again, like they did in the first week and also in a couple of their other battles,
they do that very often actually. Yeah, speed, like their speed. I think their speed tiers are one of the most threatening things about that team.
Yeah, because you can be so more efficient. If you're just like 1 speed point faster than your opponent's Pokemon, like there's not going to be any difference, like unless you're running like whatever Electro Ball or Gyro Ball or whatever. But there's not going to be any difference. Like if you're faster, you're faster. It doesn't matter if you're like 1 point faster or 1 million points faster. And yeah, you can really use those points somewhere else. So ideally, of course, you want to just be a little bit faster. But yeah, since our Pokemon are so naturally bulky, we can probably like also afford to like go very fast and drop some points here and there, making them weaker overall, but like better for specific situations and making it possible for us to plan a little more around stuff like Speedy Buzzwole, which really caught us off guard in the first week when we played them.
Yes, you can't be caught off guard if we go faster than their maximum speed, unless they use Choice Scarf. But I don't think there's a lot of Pokemon here that really want to be.
Have you ever seen a Choice Scarf Buzzwole? I've never heard of that.
No. Oh my god, yeah. But like, I think what's clever about that we've set like our setup is that, as Marcus mentioned, Zapdos puts a lot of pressure on a lot of these Pokemon. Obviously, it hits Celesteela and Suicune super effective. We also have a way to hit Buzzwole really hard, and because of our item choice, we can hit pretty much anything that we're hitting for neutral really hard, and that just leaves Mamoswine Raichu, Cradily, and Kyurem, and Fini hits both Mamoswine and Kyurem for super effective. And Raichu's a problem, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. And then Cradily, as we already mentioned, we already know is a problem. So yeah.
Yeah, and so the plan for this game was to have a fast Zapdos and a fast Tapu Fini, and then like maybe take out Buzzwole with those two, because both of them can hit Buzzwole super effectively with stab attacks. And once Buzzwole is removed, Scrafty actually does super well against their team. And if we're not able to do that, then we also have Heatran, if we can set up Trick Room, and just spam Eruption, because they don't really have too much to deal with that either. I mean, they have Suicune, but we could potentially, we're debating about running Z Solar Beam, Bloom Doom, just for the Suicune, and then also Sunny Day. Because last time we faced them, they had the Licky Licky with Cloud9, but that's no longer a thing. So yeah, that could be something that we were thinking about.
Yeah. So there's like, I think there's like, we really want to try and push them on like the fact that a lot of their Pokemon are in the middle speed tier. So fast Zapdos and fast Tapu Fini for the early game was the original theory. Try and put pressure on them. Have the option of Bronzong and Heatran for a slower Trick Room mode. Bronzong underspeeds their whole team, and they only really have Arcanine to threaten it, like to threaten to OHKO it at the very least. Drapion maybe with a Z Dark, but we have
to take a hit and threatened. You mean?
Sorry, I mean to stop Trick Room from going up. Like,
okay.
Yeah, Beyond can hit it for super effective damage. Stab super effective damage, and then like threaten stuff with Eruption if they lose their Pokemons. Like, there's really only 2 Pokemon in this team. I mean, Cradily maybe, but like really only Arcanine and Suicune want to be taking Eruptions. And so if we get rid of even one of those, then there's at least one Pokemon in the field that doesn't want to be taking Eruption. Yeah, and then like Scrafty will come to later. But if you look at this team, only Buzzwole and I guess Comfey, but like we don't think they're bringing Comfey because we have double steals and like it doesn't really do much, you know.
Yep. So basically, however, I can still see them going hardcore Cradily with maybe Comfey for healing.
But Cradily already has recovery, don't you think, in stockpile?
I mean, I don't know, it's very slow, so.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Okay. So yeah, but
and they brought Surf Suicune plus Cradily before.
Yes, they have.
Just putting it out there, so if they actually bring it, I look like the prediction god. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, basically, there's not a lot to hit Scrafty, and I think that's kind of the end conclusion of what we were talking about. Is there's Buzzwole, maybe Comfey, maybe Air/Celesteela, who we don't think they're bringing Celesteela at all. So it's effectively just Buzzwole who can hit Scrafty, and that gave Marcus a very good idea. So that's all I want to say about the prep before we actually jump into the team.
Yeah, so let's jump over here into this team builder, and there it is, the finished team. In fact, yeah, we decided not to bring Zygarde, but yeah, these are the 6 Pokemon that we decided on bringing. They're also on the same side, and yeah, we can actually play a little bit of mind games because with this Electivire being on the same side as Zapdos, our plan is to have Zygarde on that same side, even though it looks like a little bit weird to have
double electric Zygarde.
yes. So we're like hoping that they would expect the Zygarde to be brought over the Electivire, or maybe that can help us a little bit. Maybe we can like take on a like Thunderbolt from the Raichu and get speed up, but that's not really the plan. But just something to keep in mind. Anyway.
Yeah.
So here we are with Zapdos. We decided to go with that very fast Zapdos. We don't need to be any faster than that because that outspeeds maximum speed 95 speed base, which is Drapion.
Arcanine, Kyurem. Oh, Arcanine, Drapion. Is Kyurem 95 or is it 90? I always forget. I think it's 90.
It might be 95. Might also be 90. Either way, we're faster. And realistically, we don't really want to take attacks from that anyway. But yeah, with Hidden Power Flying and Max Special Attack, we're actually able to
95.
one-hit KO Buzzwole, even if it has an Assault Vest, unless it has like max HP and max special defense, which we don't expect them to run. So it's pretty much a guaranteed KO on any Buzzwole, which is good, unless they're like Cobra Berry. But that would be interesting. Yeah, super interesting. And so the plan is to get 1 KO with Z Thunderbolt, which is our Z move on that side. And they don't really have any great switch-ins for that attack. I mean, sure, they have Mamoswine and Raichu, but in previous weeks they have like opened up with both of them. So if we can like either take out one of them or maybe scare them out, then a Z Thunderbolt into that side should be devastating for them because Drapion shouldn't be able to take that very well. It can really knock out their
Suicune,
yeah.
And also, like, if you notice, the side of the Zapdos, Electivire, and Bronzong doesn't have great synergy. But the thing is that So like in theory, Choice Band Arcanine could do like a really big threat. And this Zapdos max special attack,
Yes, we'll get
you're an
the
Electric Z, Oko's No Bulk Arcanine, and also Oko's Drapion if they bring it, if it has like max HP and some special defense, which is actually pretty nice just to be able to remove Pokemon and
Yep.
limit their switching options.
Yep, and then yeah, this Zapdos will be let off with Scrafty, but I'd rather jump to the Tapu Fini because that's really like our main offensive engine here. So the Tapu Fini will not be opened up with, but yeah, we come up with this max speed, a lot of HP set. Because we realized they also don't really have any great answers to fairy type attacks. So the first idea was to go with like Choice Specs Tapu Fini and then spam Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam because they just don't have really great answers. And Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam is a 2-hit KO on Raichu, Mamoswine, and Buzzwole, depending on like what the sets are. But like even against Assault Vest Buzzwole, Dazzling Gleam does a huge chunk. So that looked kind of nice, but then we realized that Dazzling Gleam is pretty weak, and if they run bulky Mamoswine or bulky Raichu, then actually we don't get those 2-hit KOs anymore. And you don't really want to commit into a Choice Specs, like lock yourself into an attack if you can't even 2-hit KO something, right? So instead we were focusing more on the idea of launching Moonblasts. So Choice Specs Moonblast looked a little bit more promising, but we really like Protect on that side for a long until like after we decided on our Scrafty moveset, which does not run Detect. So yeah, we kind of wanted to have Protect on that Tapu Fini, and yeah, max speed again. It doesn't quite it's not quite as fast as the Zapdos, but if they decide to go with a neutral mate nature on their Pokemon, then Tapu Fini and Zapdos are both guaranteed to outspeed all of them. Except for the Raichu, obviously. So yeah, that can really come in handy because outspeeding stuff and doubling into things, even if they have like Assault Vest, we can go for like a Z Thunderbolt combined with Moonblast, and we get to hit the Buzzwole super hard again, so that Scrafty has an easier time. And overall, I'm just it took us quite a while to come up with a set. Just because it's not really something you see too often. Like max speed Tapu Fini is not very common in doubles, at least. But here, for this specific matchup, it seems to make a lot of sense, especially if they're trying to like barely speed creep us again, as they have done in the past, because then they're losing a lot of points and trying to outspeed us with, say, their Buzzwole, but then we would still be faster. And also, thanks to the HP AVs, we actually also maintain a decent amount of bulk, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, so when we were looking at this, like it was tough because we knew we wanted to go super fast with Tapu Fini. But like as we said, initially we wanted Choice Specs, but the problem with not running Protect is because Scrafty doesn't have Protect, and because Fini was like initially really offensive with Choice Specs without Protect, obviously. The problem was that if we lost a Pokemon or lost some momentum, like Heatran doesn't really like to switch in because it has Eruption, and Scrafty without Protect can't protect itself. So it just kind of I was really anxious about potentially putting us in a situation where we just like we would be like threatened to lose a whole side, especially like a side that's really important. So the next thought we had was Fairy MZ, which I actually thought was kind of clever, but again, it didn't give us any bulk, and we kind of wanted Calm Mind to like benefit from Electivire and benefit from like putting on pressure and outspeeding and stuff. So yeah, I think the set, even though it's actually really weak, like even after Calm Mind, it's not going to be doing a ton of damage. With Wikiberry and with Scrafty on the team, even if not on the other side, and like
Electivire on the other side.
Exactly, Electivire being able to redirect, and then not having great quick ways to get rid of Fini outside of like Raichu, who's relatively frail, so it's like easy-ish to KO. Yeah, we thought that Fini would be pretty good here, and especially if they go for like, I mean, we don't think they're going to bring Toxic Spikes because we have Fini, right? But like, just in case they do, it's nice to set a terrain to stop status in general, stop them from freezing our Pokemon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yes. And like the trick they pulled against us in the last time we faced against them with Poison Z Buzzwole, now we would likely outspeed and be able to not only KO it with the Zapdos, but also get like combo KOs with Moonblast plus maybe an attack from like Electivire or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, next up, just because it's in the lead and we've talked about it already so much, this is gonna be our Scrafty set.
It's kind of weird, right?
It kind of is, because it acts both as a supporter and also as a sweeper, depending on what the situation demands. So when I was looking at their team, I realized that there is a glaring weakness to Scrafty, right? They have a couple of weaknesses to fighting type attacks. Both the Pokemon that they picked up newly, the Mamoswine and the Kyurem, are weak to it, and then also the Credilli. And we're lacking ways to deal with the Credilli, right? So naturally, Scrafty seemed like a very solid pick. And then also we get to hit Raichu for super effective damage, and being able to knock off stuff is always super nice, right?
Yes.
So, looking a little further into this, I realized that, hey, if we manage to set up Scrafty with like an attack boost, they actually don't really have any great ways of dealing with it, because their only super effective stab against Scrafty is that Comfy and the Buzzwole. So against Buzzwole, we already have established that we have Zapdos and Tapu Fini going for us, outspeeding it and hitting it with super effective stab moves. So if we can remove Buzzwole, then they only are really left with Comfy that we don't really expect them to bring. So Scrafty, while it would be neutral against all like Arcanine, even Celesteela, Suicune, Mamoswine, or actually like positive against Mamoswine, but if you get it to a certain level of attack stat, then with Drain Punch you can just recover off all damage, and yeah, they just can't really stop that. So another idea we had for Tapu Fini was to be Swagger or Heal Pulse, which we've also done in the past, but we couldn't really find a way to make that work because yeah, it's just so difficult to maintain good synergy and on the different sides. And yeah, we couldn't really have Zapdos across Tapu Fini because we wanted Zapdos and Fini on opposing sides, and also Zapdos and Scrafty on opposing sides, because if we have Zapdos and Fini on opposing sides and we have one of them on the field, that means that their Buzzwole will have a super hard time, because they just can't really do anything without taking a ton of damage, or maybe even being KO'd right on the get-go. So, yeah, we weren't really able to do that. Then another idea we had was Swagger on Bronzong, so we could Swagger our Scrafty and then get the attack boost that way. But that also didn't really seem like it would be working out, because it would require us to set up, or to bring a Tapu Fini before that, and then you would need Bronzong and Scrafty on the field at the same time, and then Swagger could also miss. So yeah, in the end, we came up with Bulk Up as the move of boosting Scrafty's attack stat and also the defense stat. We don't really care too much about the defense, to be honest, but we also don't mind it, obviously. So between Intimidate and one Bulk Up, it's actually pretty difficult to take down Scrafty using physical attacks, and even Buzzwole should have like a decently hard time. But again, yeah, we plan on removing Buzzwole with the Zapdos and the Tapu Fini before it can even touch Scrafty.
Yeah, I mean, when at first I was like looking at Scrafty and I was like, okay, we'll use Detect and we'll use Low Kick, and we'll just hit everything for good damage. But like Marcus suggested Bulk Up, and I was like, I don't know, I'm really not convinced. Like I really think that that Low Kick and it does more damage and all this stuff. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that like I think the genius of Marcus's idea here is that Scrafty is like they already lack ways to deal with it, and then when you consider that with a 50% berry, Scrafty likely has 150% health, and when you consider Drain Punch recovery on top of that. And you consider that you also have a partner who's threatening stuff as well, and that we have Follow Me Electivire, for example, to support, and like Fast Zapdos and like Trigger and Bronzong as well. All of that to support like on the other side. Like Scrafty really benefits from all of that. So I really like the idea of like just getting rid of the Pokemon that threaten Scrafty, and then just using Drain Punch to make him unkillable, and threatening with Drain Punch and knock off on Suicune to take care of any recovery. And knock off an Arcanine to take care of any recovery. It's really threatening. And I really like that Scrafty can serve both as a support Pokemon in the early game for Zapdos and kind of Fini, and maybe for Bronzong as well, but also to be able to use it as a sweeper. Like I just think that's a really good idea. Who knows if it'll work, but on paper I like it a lot.
Yeah, it just might really come down to whether we can like make the time and get away to KO that Buzzwole quickly enough, because then if they don't have that, then I really think that Scrafty can put in a lot of work.
It's nice that two of the Pokemon on the other side, like Hidden Power Flying Zapdos and Psychic Bronzong, also like Scrafty's almost always going to be something next to it that can threaten Buzzwole, and even Electivire can at least redirect if we need to focus on the partner, you know?
Yes, and Electivire is also going to be the one that we talk about next.
Cool. We have 7 minutes until my staff meeting, by the way, so we might need to pick up the pace.
Okay.
That's
so,
okay.
Electivire, also super fast. If you can check Fini and Electivire, it's actually even faster than the Fini, also outpacing like all of the threats that could get like just above, say, modest max speed Fini. And with Low Kick, we have a surprise attack that can hit Mamoswine and Credilli and Kyurem that it usually wouldn't be able to hit. So we hope that with that we can maybe surprise them, get a lot of damage, and yeah, make it easier for other Pokemon to do the job. But usually, I mean, we're kind of set against both Mamoswine and the Kyurem. However, like, it's always good to have some surprise attacks, because our team sometimes might lack a little bit of the surprise factor because of how good the mons are, which is a little bit contradicting itself. But we can't really come up with super crazy sets because there's already such good sets to use like the standard moves. So I really like that Wolf's edition of low kick here on the Electivire, just because of how good the coverage is against their team.
It's really good. Like, first of all, Electric and Fighting hit every single Pokemon on the team for neutral except for Raichu, who is not very bulky. And also we can redirect our electric attacks from Raichu, so we're not too worried about it. And then the combination of Electric and Fighting hit literally half the team for super effective damage. Celesteela, Suicune, Mamoswine, Kyurem, Cradily, and also just like a strong Wild Charge. Not that Electivire is like the strongest Pokemon, but with an we're jolly. Even with like a base 123 attack, like it's good for like picking up last minute KOs. Like Wild Charge on Drapion, Wild Charge on Arcanine are still going to be doing a lot of damage. And yeah, like other than Buzzwole, it just has like a pretty nice time against the majority of this team. Like Buzzwole and Raichu, both of which, like, well, Raichu's kind of a pain, but like Buzzwole, we've already talked about, we have a lot of answers for. And it's also good because like even if it's not able to be pressuring things offensively with a 50% berry and like a good amount of bulk and like it's the fact that it's only weak to one type of attack. Like just being able to use Follow Me and protect either Heatran or boosted Feeny or boosted Scrafty is all, in my opinion, really good.
Yes.
Are we whispering?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, are your parents asleep?
Sorry. Okay. And then
Shouted. Okay.
And then with those 3 fast Pokemon, if we manage to take some KOs early game, we'll try to set up Trick Room for a Scrafty and Heatran later on. And we'll use Bronzong to do that.
Yes.
Bronzong
is cool.
Yeah.
We were kind of stuck because we wanted Sunny Day, but we were really worried about Cradily.
Yes.
Storm Drain. So like with skill swap, if we take Storm Drain, then Bronzong walls Suicune.
Yes.
If we take Flash Fire from Heatran, then Bronzong walls Arcanine. And it just really walls Mamoswine.
And if we skill swap Levitate to Heatran, then Heatran walls Cradily.
And Kyurem and Mamoswine.
Yes.
Yes.
So this seems pretty clever.
Yes.
Also, by foregoing Sunny Day, we get way more coverage with Psychic and Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon to hit Mamoswine, Kyurem, and Cradily. Psychic still for hitting that Buzzwole and also doing more damage to Suicune and Arcanine.
Yeah. The coverage is really good against them.
Yeah.
Flash Cannon also gets Comfy. I don't know if you said that.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't. Yes.
Comfy, Cradily,
That's true.
Yeah. It's half the team for super effective.
Yep.
Which is cool.
And we run some special attack.
Yes, to do damage.
To do more damage. Yep. Heard it here first.
I think a 2 KOs most Mamoswine.
Yes. And then one last room, one last Heatran. the last Pokemon that we will go over in this season's MBL, in this year's MBL season. Yes, I know. It's going to be the Heatran. And Wolf came up with this clever EV spread.
Yes, it took me a long time.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it a little bit, or maybe is it like should we share the
I don't know if we have time to talk about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my PC is running out of storage, so we should end this video soon.
Okay, yeah, I have to go to my meeting.
Okay. So Eruption Earth, we decided Earth Power over Flash Cannon because Earth Power hits Arcanine, and Arcanine could actually be a little bit of a threat.
Yeah.
If they manage to set it up.
Fire moves in general, like most of the team.
Yeah.
Fire, it's Cradily.
Yep.
For stronger than Flash Cannon, it's Mamoswine. Stronger than Flash Cannon.
Yep.
Even if it's thick fat, which it probably will be.
So thanks for watching, and please cheer for us.
Please.
Tomorrow,
Please.
Wolfie's channel.
2 p.m.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit, fam.
Lit fam.
Thank you for all your support. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
For his help during the draft. Thank you.
Yes.
Trey for helping us get some of the Pokemon.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you for all the fans. We're doing this for you.
Yep.
We're all losing.
And Yuri.
It's for us. I already said Yuri.
Okay, sorry, didn't hear that. Anyway, thank you so much, and yeah, go watch Team Not Skull's Dreambuilder as well, of course. I think it should be on MV's channel.